Chapter 16. First Clash at Faucon-Bas. The night sky is still up as Jowlani has already woken up. Anxiously awaiting the events of the day, he checks his equipment one final time. He then heads outside and the streets are fully empty. Over the fields behind his house he sees a slight veil of fog. Today is a day that Jowlani is partially in control over the fate of Faucon-Bas. Everything that he owns or cares for is at stake. A door creaks open close to Jowlani's house. It's Aunt Serena, this time not with a laundry basket, but carrying a very small storage case. She walks up to Jowlani, opens up the case, and displays a purple ring. "Oh my boy, it's time to fight, isn't it? To make sure you are always safe, I'll give you Uncle Rick's magical ring. It should help you with your powers. Stay safe and make sure to watch over Zayden, Laura and all the others, okay? Best be on your way before you're too late." Serena heads off back inside as Jowlani makes his way to the magician's faction camp. Located 10 minutes away from the border, everyone has gathered accordingly to the time set out, 700 hours. Professor Rania takes the lead in the briefing as General Grafman and Zayden join in to relay any messages to their faction. Zayden sees Jowlani and as Rania starts, they hold hands briefly to then assume their rightful position. "Fellow citizens of Faucon-Bas, today is the day we make our stand. Let me start off with the first news. Our scouts have already informed us that the Altgrön army made significant advances throughout the night. This means that they will arrive earlier than expected. With the current timeline, we are well on time to be prepared. The call to be this early was the right one." Another scout emanates from the foggy air near the border gates. He holds a message, relays it to Rania, then spears back off in the direction from which he came. "This message comes from the border guard unit. We have first visual contact on enemy territory. Altgrön's army seems to consist of the 2nd and 3rd Infantry and their first magical unit, spearheaded by Trudy Heinecke." Rania is not surprised at all by this message and continues her speech. "Listen carefully, everyone. Trudy Heinecke is as old as me. She's a very experienced strategist on the battlefield with destructive magical capabilities. If you wish to not only fight but live after this fight, listen to General Grafman and me." General Grafman then gives further tactical instructions how to communicate with Grafman and Zayden's units and which spells to use in specific situations. After concluding, Zayden and Jowlani reunite briefly. "Listen, I know this will be tough. We can make it through together if we play it right. Just make sure whatever you do, your own safety comes first. Do you promise that to me?" "Yes, Zayden, I will promise you that. Please don't die either on there. General Grafman will do what he can, and if not, fall back to the Zeitflachte. We will reunite there." The pair hug, give a good luck kiss, and be on their way to the respective units, awaiting what's next. The border guards are instructed to open the gates. The first line of defense, led by Professor Rania, goes through the gates, followed by General Grafman and Zayden's second line, then Jowlani and Laura's third line unit. Rania's unit sets up magical barriers, trap spells, and awaits the enemy. Grafman instructs their unit to split up and fan out to surround and protect Rania's unit. Here comes Altgrön's forces. As expected, Trudy Heinecke's magic unit spearheads the army in first line. Rania's nemesis finally displays herself on the battlefield as the two once worked together on behalf of this country. Though Faucon-Bas' army is vastly outnumbered, Rania has tactical brilliance on her side. As the enemy unit is close enough, her unit lets a trap spell loose. The entire grassland is set ablaze in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, a direct magical counterattack on her students mean that some of them fall. The energy of the freed souls are redirected by Rania into a magic barrier. 400 students started in this unit, and it seems that half of the students have fallen. Jowlani gets emotional seeing his fellow students fall one by one and knows he needs to stay in line in order to have any chance at victory. He gets angry and almost sends his own unit into a fiery frenzy on the grassland. Rania uses her telepathic skills to guide Jowlani to a calm. The magical artillery of Altgrön pierces a section of the constructed magic barrier and more students fall. A small section of the first line still remains. Rania instructs them to retreat, holding out till the last student has withdrawn. Grafman instructs their unit to withdraw accordingly, but Zayden's half rushes to stabilize the collapsed first line. As Jowlani notices this, he instructs his unit to line up with Zayden. Jowlani's unit uses a full frontal magic attack aimed at Heineke herself. It's a tough one, but her magical casting is halted by this coordinated attack. In this moment, Zayden's unit is close enough to them for an all-out attack. They take out between a quarter to a half of Heineke's unit, and because of this, she instructs them to withdraw. They scramble all the way back behind the infantry lines. The infantry of Altgrön's army stood in the back, doing nothing the entire battle. Was this their tactic all along? Or was it just to test the capacity and strength of Faucon-Bas' army? Both sides withdraw to save distance from each other, with Netralia's forces going back behind the border gates. Grafman comes up to Zayden at first glance and slaps him in the face. Boy, that could have gone so wrong. What on earth were you thinking? Your own people before others, do you remember? If you can't do that, stay the hell away from this battle. Jowlani is angered by this move, but understands what the general means. Rania then interferes. General Grafman, violence is not the answer amongst your own. I do see you understand this boy's reasoning to save his friends and partner, but indeed, Zayden, that was not wise. But in the end, good job for taking out so many of that magical unit. That will help. We now have to wait reinforcements from other cities here. We have taken as many deceased students with us as we could. I have blessed them for a good afterlife, though this is their unfavorable fate. Jowlani sees the lifeless bodies of his fellow students as Zayden and Laura join him and lay hands on his shoulders. There's a silent understanding of what this war will weigh, as they silently shed their tears. Though there is not much time to think, a scout emanates from the border side, and another message comes in from the capital. Reinforcements are en route but held up to the bad weather. The delay could run up to an entire day. We hope for improvements in conditions to arrive faster. Worst case scenario, abandon Faucon-Bas, booby trap it, and torch the enemy. Enemy spotted in visual range. Appears to be the second magical unit. No backup by infantry or cavalry. Arrival in 3 hours. A second wave of this first battle is coming soon. Which tactic is Altgrön trying to play out here? How do Jowlani, Zayden and Laura cope with the loss of their friends on the battlefield? And will Professor Rania and General Grafman find a new strategy to save Faucon-Bas? That concludes chapter 16 of the Amethyst Adventures. Previous and future chapters are available on AmethystADV.com, YouTube and Spotify. For now, make sure your picks are plentiful, your adventures are prosperous. We will hopefully see you back in the next chapter of the Amethyst Adventures novel.